Hi, this is Dr. Woody Wu. I'm going to present Zen leadership with two topics. The first topic is the 7 schools of Zen Buddhism. The second topic is learn leadership from Zen Buddhism. For the first topic, we need to understand the different schools of Zen Buddhism in order to learn what's Zen. The second topic, we are going to use Zen to lead peoples. Here I call it Zen leadership. There are different leadership styles such as transformational leadership, transactional leadership, servant leadership. I would consider Zen leadership is closer to servant leadership, or if you may, consider Zen leadership is a type of servant leadership. My argument here is if your Zen quotient is kind of low, do not adopt Zen leadership. It will not work. It's pretty much like if you are a bad person and you want to try ethical leadership, it will not work. I have generated 2 questionnaires from the above 2 topics. The first questionnaire, I call it Dr. Woody Wu's Zen Life Questionnaire. You can see from here, test yourself how high is your Zen quotient. Pretty much like your IQ, EQ, now we have ZQ. Questions number 1. Do you interact with people nicely? The answer can be no, closer to no, neutral, closer to yes, and yes. Question number 2. Are you well prepared for any future opportunities or unforeseen changes? Question number 3. Are you willing to serve people even if it involves personal sacrifice? Question number 4. Have you set positive objectives in your life? Question number 5. Do you work hard to achieve your goals no matter the outcome? Question number 6. Are you willing to give to others expecting no fame or money? Question number 7. Do you rarely worry or get angry over something? Question number 8. Are you passing down traditions, skills, or values? Question number 9. Do you try to use different methods to help someone? Question number 10. Do you seldom linger on your past or worry about your future? Question number 11. After accomplishing a task, do you no longer worry about it? Question number 12. Do you seldom daydream? Question number 13. Do you think if you do something beneficial to others, it will benefit you as well? Question number 14. Do you like to learn new things? Question number 15. Can you resist temptation? Question number 16. Have you found a learning style that fits you? Question number 17. Do you have a positive way of dealing with people and things? Question number 18. Can you live alone and not feel lonely? Question 19. Do you live a carefree lifestyle? Question number 20. Can you guide and correct your thinking and actions? Question number 21. Do you have courage and confidence to accept challenges? Question number 22. Do you interact with people with a pure and innocent mind? Question number 23. Do you believe people are naturally good? Question 24. Do you try hard to achieve and surpass your goals? Question number 25. Do you learn from others with an open mind? This questionnaire is a test of your Zen quotient. For you, if you answer a no, you get 0.0, closer to 1 point, neutral 2 point, closer to yes 3 point, yes 4 points. Based on that, you can see how high or how low is your Zen quotient. Again, if your Zen quotient is high, you may consider Zen leadership. If your Zen quotient is low, do not try to adopt Zen leadership. It will not work. The second questionnaire is directly related to your Zen leadership. Now, since your Zen quotient is high and you have adopted Zen leadership, let's see how you are doing. Is your Zen leadership an effective one? Question number 1. As a leader, you feel with your heart. Question number 2. As a leader, you talk the talk and walks the walk. Number 3. As a leader, you do reflective thinking. Number 4. As a leader, you have integrity and are trusted by your followers. Number 5. As a leader, you stay calm during chaos or a crisis. Number 6. As a leader, you lead with vision and objectives. 7. As a leader, you promote new and effective business strategies and operations. 8. As a leader, you hire and retain the best talent. 9. As a leader, you work with local talent and experts. 10. As a leader, you select a successor who can benefit all the stakeholders. If your answer is no, you get 0 point, close to no 1 point, neutral 2 point, closer to yes 3 point, yes 4 point. If you rating high, then means your Zen leadership is an effective one. Otherwise, it is not. Now let's get started to talk about the 7 schools of Zen Buddhism. This is the content. From left-hand side, you can see the 7 schools of Zen leadership, and the bottom one is talking about Buddha, and Dharma, Bodhidharma, and then the second patriarch, third patriarch, fourth patriarch, fifth patriarch. After that, the sixth patriarch. After the sixth patriarch, there are no more. So it's pretty much like Dharma or Buddha have created this Zen leadership and keep passing generation by generation. And Dharma is the 28th generation in India. 28th generation come to China, turn out to be the first generation in China, and passing to second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth generation. After that, no more. We don't have 7 generations. We don't. And then turn out to be a total of 7 different schools. Those 7 different schools are listed in here. That's how we are going to study. Again, Buddha passing to 28th generation, Dharma come to China. He is the first generation. Then we have second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth generation. After that, we spreading out, turned out to be mainly 7 schools of Zen. This is something about Dr. Woody Wu. You see this photo. This is flower arrangement created by Dr. Woody Wu, and this is a poem created by Dr. Woody Wu. The photo is also taken by Dr. Woody Wu, and he used the photo, used the flower arrangement, and used poem to try to reflect in his learning of Zen leadership. The very first one here is in this presentation, Dr. Woody Wu have quote, and then followed by his poem, and then followed by his generated questionnaire. Let's try to read a little bit and to see what we have. When Buddha twirled a flower at a vulture pig, all were quiet. And this, I just said Maha, alone responded with a faint smile. Buddha said, I have true Dharma eyes. Nirvana is a marvelous mind. True form is formless. Dharma is marvelous. I use no words besides the transmitting of doctrine to pass it to Maha. This is a story when Buddha giving a lecture in a classroom. There were flowers. The fairy dropped down the flowers, and so all the students except one, except one, Maha, all feel not comfortable. They were thinking about this is a serious lecturing, and flower and the Buddhism, they are not matching to each other, except one student. This student, Maha, think about, hey, I mean, the fairy, you want to drop the flowers, you drop the flowers. And the teacher want to do the lecturing, do the lectures. They are not related. In other words, he was not pre-think a classroom should be any type or any way. In this case, Buddha says, I'm going to pass in Zen Buddhism to you. And the way I'm going to pass in to you is I'm not going to write any words. No words going to write. You understand, you understand. You don't understand, you don't understand. Because the wordings can be interpreted differently by different people. So I'm trying to avoid in that. That's the situation. In reality, turned out to be Zen leadership, Zen Buddhism have most documentations compared to other type of Buddhism. So it's not supposed to be that way. I'm talking a Zen, I'm not supposed to talk a lot. But you can see, yes, I talk a lot. That was not the original design. Here I use a poem, The True Dharma Eyes, to describe, accepted from a god on a cloud, twirled by Buddha, smiled by Mahakashyapa, was a flower of Buddha mind. I generated Wu's Zen Life questionnaire. Question number 1, do you interact with people nicely? The student interface with the teacher nicely. All the other students, they don't. They was distracted by the dropping flowers. Would you be distracted when you are doing something by other things? You were distracted. The second one talking about the Buddha. So binding your mind to nothing. Here is the story. The sense hands Shibuti, that's a student, hence in this case the students this stuff. Let me just talk to you the story, because it's going to take forever. There are so many different terms. I don't assume you know all the terms, meaning of all the terms. So let me just tell you the meaning in here. We really want to know the meaning. This is not a lecturing trying to discuss or define or describe all the terms. There are just too many terms. So in this classroom lecturing, the Buddha says that, hey students, you should keep a pure heart. You should not be distract your heart by the sound, by the smell, by the taste, by the touch, or by any other reasoning to come up to your heart. Your heart should not be bind to nothing. In other words, you should not pre-assume something have to be that way. For example, before you have a kid, right, you may assume I'm going to teach my kids this way, and turn out to be each kid is different. I mean, you cannot assume. You need to see your kids, then so decided. You may need to fine tune. You may need to change a lot about your way you think how to teach your kids. So this is a way. For my point, I think I just escaped them. So the question comes here is, are you well prepared for any future opportunities or unforeseen changes? If you have so decided this is going to be the case, then you are not ready for a change. This one talking about in a classroom, the Buddha talked to the students, and the Buddha says, hey students, there is a river, and the rivers have so many sands, millions or million sands. Would you agree with that? Then also another quote is, students, what do you think? In the world, there are so many dust. With the dust a lot, there are a lot of dust in there. This basically means your worriness. Your worriness. Rivers have so many sands, and the earth have so many dust. Would that change your mind, make your heart is not that clear to see the way it is? The question now here is, are you willing to serve people even if it involves personal sacrifice? Yes, I want to do community service, but well, I don't feel good. Well, I need to make more money. Well, I'm busy. Well, all kind of reason. Eventually, guess what? You're not going to do it. This one talking about in a classroom, the Buddha said that, hey, what I'm going to do to teach you, so you are not going to stick to a special forms, or you're going to make it stable. You're not going to change because the environmental change. Why is that? Because all the change, they just like dream. They just like illusion, a bubble, a shadow. It's like a dew. It's like a thunder. You should see the change this way. So something is changed. Something is unchanged. Like for example, the parents love their kids. No matter what, right? The kids, turn out to be not a very, very good student or cannot make a lot of money. The parents still love the kids. So you love your kids. Yeah, you make. Yeah. So that's something change. Something don't change. Come up with the question is, have you set positive objectives in your life? For example, my first priority, my kids. My second priority, my wife. My third priority, me, myself. So that's my priority. Have you set positive objectives in your life? As long as my kids are happy, mainly I'm happy. So you need to set it up that way. The next one talking about in a classroom, the Buddha says that, hey, all the people they are all follow the karma. It means if you have something good, you shouldn't be happy. This one here is difficult to understand. Again, I'm not trying to go word by word. I'm going to read between the words and to tell you the meaning. It's pretty much like the Tamil, he 28th generation, he gave example. Like you are keeping money. You are keeping money, then you want to use it, you got money to use. If you keep using the money and you are not keep the money, then later on you run out of money. So he was saying like, if people treat you nice, so you're happy. Don't have to be, because you deserve it. You perform well, so people show respect to you. If you do something bad, then you lose trust from others. You shouldn't feel sad or angry because you deserve it. So this is talking about karma. Karma, we have a different meaning like, it's fate. It's fate. Nothing I can do about it. From Tamil, no, it's not the case. It's pretty much like keeping money. You keep money, you use some. You don't keep money, you keep using, you run out of money. So it's a totally different way. There are many terms before and right now, they have different meaning here. So for those of you really know the Buddhism, it's a positive one, it's not a negative one, it's a aggressive one, it's very aggressive one, it's reacting one, it's different. The question here is, do you work hard to achieve your goals no matter the outcome? No matter the outcome, you're going to keep keeping money daily, keeping money. You don't care. Maybe every day you do a little bit. Using the exercise as an example, you exercise every day for 1 hour. You don't see the outcome in 1 week, but after 1 year, whoa, you are going to have much more heavier body. This one talking about ask for nothing. The Tamil talking about this says people generally confused. They are greedy. Just talking about human nature. So they want a lot of stuff here, and because they want too much. It's you can ask for something. For example, if I'm doing a good presentation and people say, hey, you are good. I say, hey, thank you. You deserve that, right? I don't expect people say, hey, you are the best, top. Nobody else can do a presentation as good as you. You are the one and the only one. I don't think I can take that. I'm not that greedy. It's not the case. So in this case is Tamil talking about, if you don't want to be greedy, you can always ask what you deserve to get, but don't ask anything over than that. So in this case, he was talking about, if you asking, you're going to suffer. You're asking for something you not deserve. You don't ask for that, you feel happy. So this is his ask for nothing practice. The question turned out to be, are you willing to give to others, expecting no fame or money? Sometimes we want to serve other people, but we want a lot of return, like lots of respect, or compliments. We don't get that, we got upset. That's not Zen. In this one, Tamil was doing meditation against a war, and the second generation, the second master, I just use a simple word, and cut his arm and standing up in a snowing ground and asked Tamil, say, hey, as a student, my heart don't feel comfortable. Can you calm down my heart? The Tamil say, okay, bring your heart to me. I'll calm it down. the student says that I cannot find my heart anymore. Then Dharma says, I have already calmed down your heart. Means in your mind, there's nothing. There's nothing to worry about. Then, so we're trying to get rid of your worriness out of your heart. You cannot find your heart. You cannot find your worry. That's thinking. For example, something upset you. If you can think, not thinking about that, then it's typically it won't bother you. We're talking about that. The question is, do you really worry or get angry over something? Worriness and angriness is not good from Zen leadership. So I ask, do you really? We are only human beings. We are not Buddha here. So sometimes we do, but most of the time you should not worry or angry about anything. This one talking about the 6th generation master. And he talking about, I come here to save you from your delusion. Then right now we pass to 5th generation. We're not going to have, so we have the 6th generation master. After that, we're not going to have any more. We turn out to be 7 different schools, many masters. The question here is, are you passing down traditions, skills, or values? Buddha was the 1st generation in India as a Zen master. Keep passing to 28th generation, the Dharma. And Dharma came to China, turned out to be the 1st generation Zen leader, or we say Zen master, passing to 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th generation Zen master. After that, they don't need to have 7 generations master because there are more. Turn out to be 7 schools. Each school have a Zen master. Then each school keep passing down. The 2nd generation master talking about his thinking about Zen. He said that I'm treating myself in emptiness. Me, I'm existing. Emptiness, there's nothing. So my existence and the emptiness, they are the same. Well, you're thinking from later on, we are all going to die, right? So this one talking about even, think about this way here. In a company, you are the chair. Okay, we need you. So once you retire, they're going to have another chair. So it's not like without you, we can do nothing. Without you, we can find someone to replace you. This is, to me, it's like you don't want to think, you are not replaceable. Yes, you are replaceable. So you live, you die, that's a nature. And the question here is, do you try use different method to help someone? That's very cool. When you are trying to only use one way to help someone, if they don't get it, you get mad. Try the different way. There's a matching. Life, death, they are not that much of difference. If you are thinking about for your life, that's a big difference. Thinking about thousands of years, well, you only live like 100 years. You make some contribution. Everybody make a little bit of contribution. So it's really not that much. So this make yourself be more flexible. Don't always thinking about me. So I'm going to help you, but going to be using my way or the highway. It's not going to work that way. This one talk about the 3rd generation master of Zen. He was talking about be nature, learn from nature here. And he was talking about all in one, one for all. The confidence is in one way. And talking about no past, no future. Well, I'm talking right now, right? This is right now. After my presentation, that was future, that was past. And next week, I may do another presentation that's future. So the future, past, and current time, they are changing so fast. They're looking from a year from now, it's not really much of difference. So that's what he was talking about. And he was saying that, do you seldom linger on your past or worry about your future? Yeah, yesterday that was past, today is now, tomorrow is the future. But looking along long range, it's really so close. So don't worry, don't let go of your past. The past is past, and don't worry about your future. Be careful. Here we are not talking about do nothing about your future. What you need to do right now is forget about your past, preparing for your future. That's what I'm talking about. And how can you preparing for your future? Doing something good right now. That's a way to preparing for your future. And this one, the fourth generation Zen master, he was talking about the real wisdom is like your heart. Your heart is like a mirror. You're like a mirror. You can see everything. But once you have accumulated with dust, then you don't see everything so cool. That's why the Zen Buddhism or the Buddhism itself is talking about you have a heart of gold. You just don't let it rotten. If in your heart they have something not good, get rid of that. I mean, return back to your purely heart. That's the Zen idea. The question is, after accomplishing a task, do you no longer worry about it? You should not worry about it. Once completed. Yeah, may not be perfect, but well, once done is done. The main things you did good, then that's fine. In this one, the fifth generation master, remember we have total of 6 generation masters in China, 28th generation in India, and so the 5th generation master, his writing indicating that you yourself is like a sun. The sun is so powerful. You can really shine, and saying like is like you're asking too much. You have illusion and something else, and something you should not ask. You ask something you should not ask. You want something you should not want. It's pretty much like there's a cloud. Then once the cloud comes, your heart, like a sun, will be blocked by the cloud. In this case, you cannot see things very clear. So get rid of the cloud and return back to a sun. It's like you and your heart. The question come out, do you seldom daydream? Daydreaming here using is you are asking or expecting something you are not, it will not happen. You should not doing so. In this one, the 6th generation master, the last generation master, he was talking about the Buddha says that you have 2 ethics. One is always there, one is not always there. But the Buddhism is not like always there or not always there. It's one and only one. That's what he was talking about. This is difficult to understand. It's like you're trying to divide something into 2, divide and conquer. That's the way we use. But for the Buddhism, you cannot divide it. Your heart is your heart. You want to divide it, then you're actually, that's an easy way to say that your heart is like a mirror and there's some dust. But in a real or high level, there's no heart, there's no mirror, there's no dust, no nothing. So why is that? It's not logically make no sense. No, it's not like that. It's pretty much like if you understand, we don't need any words. Let's say, for example, if you're so healthy, so strong, you don't really need to take medicine if you're not ill, right? medicine. Let's assume simple case. You are ill, you take medicine. If you are not ill, do you want to take medicine? No. So that's the idea here. So we really, okay, if you are ill, we really want the medicine to cure, but the best situation is you don't need to take any medicine. You are fine. So that's the idea. It's not so easy to understand about Zen here. Do you think if you do something beneficial to others, it will benefit you as well? So that's my interpretation. Don't always thinking about you yourself. Think about someone else. If you do something good to others, you feel good about yourself. You may not actually have any return, like money return or any return. This one talk about the 6th generation master. He was talking about, hey, everyone here, people always talking about Buddhism, but you don't know what's the Buddhism means, what's the Buddha's mind means. It's in your heart. It's in your heart. So he's talking about, you only talking about that, it's useless. It's useless. Keep talking, that's useless. You need to listen. Feel your Buddha's mind. He always talking about your heart. You don't want to make it like do nothing. I don't want to do anything. That's not really the Buddhism. You want to do interface with other people and do the best you can. That's the Buddhism. So don't get wrong about the Buddhism is I don't do anything, so I'm not going to make any mistake and I'm happy about myself. No, it's not like that. It's you're doing a lot of things, helping a lot of people. Well, but maybe sometimes you don't do it perfectly. You feel okay. Yeah, I mean, I have tried my best. So that's more like Buddhism here. The third core talking about you don't want to confuse about the forms, the like environment, the situation. For example, you see a guy look like a bad guy. I mean, don't be fooled by his or her appearance. You shouldn't do that. I mean, maybe you can see people's action, not by their appearance. So something like that. And also people change. The bad person can change to a good person, and a good person can turn out to be a bad person. So don't keep your heart in that way, thinking about something is what you think. The question here is, do you like to learn new things? Something new here, right? You meet an old friend, the friend changed. Hey, how about that? Say hello to a new friend. In here, still the sixth master. Sixth master is very, very important. Very, very important. Of them, he went to a temple to did lectures for like 1 month, and some students writing down his lecturing. So this is it. He was talking about in a classroom lecturing to students and other people. Say, hey, how about meditation? So once you did do a meditation, your heart going to be keep in a calm status. You're not going to thinking about lots of stuff, and that means meditation. And so this meditation is he was talking about. It's not an outside appearance. You sitting there calmly. It's in your inside of your heart. If your heart cannot calm down, although from outside your appearance looks very, very calm, but you're not calm, it's no use. It's to calm down inside. You have to be that way. That's meditation. The question is, can you resist temptation? In our real life, there may have some temptation. Can you resist that? I mean, you do a meditation, you keep thinking about something you want or something wants you. Can you resist the temptation? The next one, talking about the different schools. The first one, that's a different school. There's one of the 7 schools master talking about the then master came from India to China. they are talking about the same Buddha's mind, and that's identical. But turn out to be in the south part of China and north part of China, they have a different way of teaching. The south part is suddenly you understand, then you understand. The north part is gradually you will understand about the Buddha's mind. So gradually understand or suddenly understand, that's a difference between South Zen and North Zen. The question here is, have you found a learning style that fits you? Yeah. And you may be that kind of person. Gradually you will understand the wisdom here, or suddenly you understand. This is we're not talking about knowledge here or logical. We are talking about wisdom. Wisdom and knowledge is different. Zen is wisdom. Zen is not knowledge. And then from day one, is wording is not important. Meaning is important. That's why I'm not here to read all the wording. I'm trying to read between lines to tell you the wisdom, the meaning here. In this one, another school's master, 7 schools, another school's master. Here, a student asked the master here, in our lecturing, do we still have that Tamil, the 8th generations came to China, turned out to be the 1st generation. Do we still have his idea of Zen? And the teacher said, yes, we do. Then the student asked, what's his idea? What's Tamil's idea about Zen? The teacher said that, well, don't try to get it from the books. Don't try to get it from the books. Yeah, so that's basically says that that's the idea here. If you understand, you understand. You say, oh, what's the book? Knowledge, that's book, no problem. Books, knowledge. Wisdom, it's difficult to write it down in a book. I mean, you read a lot of books, you are knowledgeable. I mean, it won't make you a wise man, right? So that's talking about that. Do you have a positive way of dealing with people and things? Positive way. You are going to dealing people with not only the knowledge, it's only going to be like wisdom. You're going to be wise to deal in a positive way. We are talking about Zen, which is positive, is not a negative type of thinking. In here, another school, the teacher talking about the past, the current, and the future. They are all in your mind. So if you see something, you hear something, that's all in your mind. For example, if you are doing something you really like and people are trying to distracting you, probably they cannot make it because you really like something you are doing, you are really focusing. With a little bit distraction, you don't really care, you don't mind. So this one talking about the world, the mountains, rivers, everything change gradually. You see it, it's changing gradually. But your heart, asking you should not change your heart. The heart of gold, the purify of your heart or your mind. When I say heart, mind, they are pretty much the same, interchangeably used of the terms. Zen is pretty much afraid of the wording here, using the wording, argue with the wording. You understand, you understand. I mean, I say, for example, if you give me a compliment, you say, hey, you are a nice guy, you are a great guy, you're a cool guy. I'm a nice, great, cool, they're different. I get the point, I get the point. I'm happy, thank you for the good words. I'm not going to argue with you. Nah, I'm not really a great guy, I'm a cool guy. Or no, I mean, we don't really care about the terms you are using, right? We get the point. Yeah, we know what you're trying to say. That's important. That's Zen. Can you live alone and not feel lonely? This is difficult. This is especially difficult when you are aging. Can you live alone and not feel lonely? This is really, if you can do that, You are really, really zen here. Another master from the 7 schools talking about the student writing down. One time the master was sitting there and the student asked, say, hey, I mean, after you die and your Buddha's mind, you're lecturing, how it's going to, people ask me about the master. Hey, how's the master? Not right now, he died. I'm going to say, the master said that a meal, I mean, like, every meal I eat simple. I mean, whenever it's time for me to eat, I eat. This is Zen. Be normal people. I'm just normal. I'm just doing my stuff here. It's not like something like magical or it's totally different from other people. No, Zen is be natural. I mean, I'm hungry, I eat. Well, I feel asleep, I sleep. I work. That's Zen. It's not so easy. Then it's not really asking for to be a happy person. No, that's not then. Calm. You're not happy. You're not worried. You are calm. That's then. Another recording indicating one day there's a rain and the teacher was sitting there and a student says, hey, this is a very good rain. And the teacher asks, what's good about the rain? And just say the student said that it's good in that way. Then the teacher point to the rain says that your natural mind. What's good about your natural mind? Wisdom here. The teacher says that you are. Why don't you just stop talking? Why don't you just stop talking? To me, here. Then it's not about happy, it's about calm. Rain is rain. It's not a good rain or bad rain. I mean, to you, maybe it's a good rain because dry season. To some other people, that too much of rain is going to cause a problem. So how can you say, hey, rain is good rain? Rain is rain. So that's what he was talking about. The question here is, do you live a carefree lifestyle? You don't worry about that. You don't. It's pretty much like you don't do a judgmental. Oh, rain! How good is rain? It's a beautiful rain. You don't do a judgmental. Just dialogue. Hey, it's raining. That's them. In this one here, it's a different school. And this school, the teacher asked a student, say, sometime I'm going to shout at you. I'm going to loudly. And sometime I'm going to stay there like I'm doing nothing, like a lion. I'm trying to catch you. And sometime I'm going to use a stick and to moving the grass. And sometime I'm shouting, but not used as a shouting. So this is very difficult to understand, right? Yeah, they are talking about we are trying to make you understand to get the wisdom gradually or suddenly. This is like a suddenly. So we all know that. For example, you are trying to learn how to drive a car. The teacher talk to you, the driver, teach you how to drive a car, and they shout at you. It's a shock. Oh, since suddenly you understand. You understand what? Keep calm. This is most important. Hey, safety is most important. What are you doing here? That kind of shouting here, say they really wake you up. Like you're driving, you're thinking about, I'm going to drive nicely and beautifully. No, just drive safely. That's the most important. So that kind of shouting is like that. Yeah. Or you are playing basketball. I'm not talking about competition. I'm talking play with friends. The most important to me is don't get injury. Don't injure yourself or others. That's most important. It's score is not important. I mean, you're not doing competition, so that's most important. So this shouting for me, it's critical thinking. Critical thinking to me is the most important. What's the most important to you? For example, I have a fish pond. I keep koi for about 30 years. The lesson I learned about critical thinking in koi keeping is remember to turn off the water. The water going to, especially in summertime, you need to keep adding waters. The most important is do not forget to turn off the water. You turn it on, you forgot. Then like every 2 or 3 days, you have to add water. The chances here is if you are not turn off the water, the fish will die. Okay. The question here is, can you guide and correct your thinking and action? To me, it's most important. We all make mistakes. We are going to be that way for the rest of our life. Don't make critical, major errors. For a koi pond, like you kill the koi by forgot to turn off the water. Don't make that kind of mistake. Another school, the master asked the students, say, hey, you are a monk, where were you from? And then after that said that everybody have a place to come. Why you become a monk? And then the student want to answer, then the teacher go say that is my hand look like a Buddha's hand, and is my feet look like a donkey's feet? And those kind of questions here, the student cannot answer. When you come to the master, he's going to ask you this kind of a weird question. And then a guy who can answer those questions, he said that, oh, my hand and Buddha's hand, they're both hands. They're nothing different. And my feet and donkey's feet, they are both can walk. So my hand and Buddha's hand, they can all rest up, and my feet and donkey's feet, they can all walk. There's no difference. You don't want to differentiate people. Yeah, we can always differentiate people, right? You're a rich person, poor person. Yeah, that's based on money. But person-wise, we are all person, right? We all can. Or born with a pure heart. That's the Zen. We all born with a pure heart of gold. You just want to keep it that way. That's Zen's idea. So thinking from that perspective, people, we are all the same. Question here is, do you have courage and confidence to accept challenges? Yeah. So you want to say, hey, me, comparing me to Buddha, there's a big difference. Well, in a way, there's no big difference. The Buddha born with a pure heart, you born with a pure heart. But there's a lot of challenge. The environmental change, you turn out to be greedy. You're way far away from the Buddha here. So can you accept the challenges and handle it appropriately? The next one, another master in the 7 schools talking to a student says that keep a pure heart, and once you keep a pure heart, you still know that there was an old man. Where is the old man? And the student says that the old man fall into a water. Then at this stage turn out to be something different to understand. Remember the idea originally, don't talk that much, right? It's simple. Keep it simple, and turn out to be very fancy and very difficult to understand. So that's not really a good idea. The next one here, that's a student asked the teacher said that remove the cloud, then we can see the sun. How's that? And the teacher said that if you are sitting on the east, you keep sitting on the east. So it's difficult, turn out to be very difficult to understand. That's the Zen nowadays. Personally, I like the Zen way. It just make it simple. Like your heart is like a mirror. There's some dust. Get rid of the dust. I like the easy way, but I'm showing you the reality. Turn out to be very difficult to understand. The dialogue. You're talking about something. They are talking about something else. Like they are not related, and you're trying to relate to them. This is not really the way I like it. The question here is, do you interact with people with a pure and innocent mind? Yeah, that should be the case. So I'm not saying like all the Zen's documentation books are good. Some are good, are Zen. Some are less than. They are more like you're asking me A, I'm giving you a Z. They are totally unrelated. Then ask you to relate it. It's not a good idea. It's not really Zen, but it's a lot. There are a lot of things like that I need to show you. In this book, they recorded a short story. So see the sparrow poo on a status of a Buddha, and so the student asked, "Hey, is a sparrow also have a Buddha's mind?" If so, the teacher say yes. Then students say, then if the sparrow also have a Buddha's mind, then why dropping the poo on the head of a Buddha statue? Then the teacher said that, whoa, yeah, right. Why don't the sparrow drop the poo on top of a hawk? It cannot be that way, right? So this is also Zen. Once they are moving to all the animals, they have a pure heart. I agree with that. They like lion, they eat deer because they're hungry, because that's their food. So it's really, from that perspective, it's nothing wrong about that. They're not going to waste of food. So they're hungry, they eat a deer. They're not going to kill a deer just for fun. I don't think they do that. They don't do that. So judging from that perspective, yeah, a sparrow, well, they need to poo, they poo, right? Happen to put it on the top of a status, on the head of a status of Buddhas. What's wrong about that? I mean, it's nothing to talk about it. To me, this is irrelevant. Sometimes it's irrelevant to Zen. We don't want to relate it and thinking about, oh, that's something to talk about. That's really nothing to talk about. Just nature. And ask, do you believe people are naturally good? A sparrow is good, lion is good, and people are good. I think so. And this one is Tang Dynasty. Tang Dynasty, some monk. They also like to write poem. And this one poem wrote by the monk. He was basically talking about, I went to a highest mountain to visit a master. And I came back. When I came back, there are so many mountains. That's evening, and the master showed me the road to go back by pointing to the moon. Say, hey, there's a moon, huh? You just follow the moonlight, follow that direction. You can go down to the mountains. So this is like implying, follow your heart. You get your Buddha's mind. Everybody have a Buddha's mind. Do you try hard to achieve and surpass your goals? Yeah, here I'm talking about it's already like a monk, a famous monk, and visiting a master. So he's already very famous and very, very good, know a lot of Zen, still want to visiting someone who may know more about Zen. That's why I come to this question. That's Dr. Woody Woo's poem. Dr. Woody Woo used poem, use flower arrangement, use photography to, you can consider, write down his learning his of Zen for himself, and come up to here. This is went to Korea, from India to China to Korea to Japan to Vietnam to the east side, and turned out to be in India. The Buddhism turned out to be very, very few, maybe 5%, very, very few, and in the Eastern world, maybe 20%, 30% of people who believe in Buddhism. So that's very, very, we didn't think about that. That should be the case. So you go to India trying to learn this Buddha stuff here. No, you go to Asian countries, Japan, Korea, and China, and so on and so forth. And this is when Dr. Woody Woo went to Korea. In Korea, they have Zen, the Zen school, the master school. They have some columns writing a poem. The poem basically talking about passing heart by heart. that's Buddha and the first generation master and master. They keep passing down, and that's the sixth generation's master. In the mountain, there's a moon. The moon is going to shine for many, like forever. So talking about, you can thinking about. So what they're trying to say that is, Korea, their Zen was received or was passing down from China's sixth generation master. Ask this question: do you learn from others with an open mind? Yeah, in this case, Korean people learn from Chinese people, and Chinese people learn from people from India about this Zen ideas. We don't really, as long as that's Zen, we don't really care. I mean, who said that or from which country? We already reviewed those 25 questions for Zen Life questionnaire created by Dr. Woody Wu. I just show you how I came up with those questions. I came up from different masters, from the Buddha's idea, and try to apply to our daily life, to nowadays. So this one is called Zen Life questionnaire. You can thinking about this your Zen quotient. We're going to present our second topic is Zen leadership. This is the table of content, and this is the sixth generation masters. He's lecturing. Remember, a temple invited him to stay like 1 month, like every day, give a lecture, and some people there wrote down the lecture, and turned out to be like they have 10 chapters for this book, and we are going to get from each chapter a question for Zen leadership. You see here, like the question number 1 is feel with your heart. I think we can all agree with that. For Zen leadership, for servant leadership, you need to feel with your heart. The second one, talk the talk, walk the walk. We agree. That's one way for you to earn trust from your followers. The third one is reflective thinking. We have to, from time to time, every day, to do that, reflective thinking. The third one, integrity and trust. That's ethical leadership. Then the next one, handle chaos or a crisis like COVID-19. I was not expecting that, but once it comes, as a leader, what can you do? You need to be able to handle the chaos. It's really a chaos. And a crisis is really a crisis. Yeah. You need a vision and objectives. Learning from that, you are going visions. You may want to have thinking about risk leadership, preventing in the future something. So that's your vision, your objectives, and business strategies and operations. We typically can use SWOT, S-W-O-T, strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats, to come up with some business strategy. That's one way. Another way, you may be based on the Zen leadership to come up with your business strategies and operations. In this case, you're going to serve public, and in return, you may generate short-term and long-term profit and build up a positive image for your organization. It's pretty much, using our words, it's like a win-win situation. But you try to serve other people first, then turn out to be your benefit, you yourself. The next one, hire and retain the best talent. I think this is very, very difficult. It's very difficult. We are in a global world in terms of business. We need to hire and retain the best talent, especially local talent. It's very difficult to retain. It's also very difficult to keep the talents here. I mean, if you don't have good people, guess what? I mean, your organization will not be an effective one. The next one says work with local talent and experts. You need domestic talents. You need talents from some other countries. The next one, select the successors. We all know that once you select a wrong successors, you have a very good CEO. Later on, you have a bad CEO. Guess what? It's going to hurt your company, your organizations tremendously. The last one, passing the light. That's pretty much like our mission statement. vision statement, you change the CEO. You don't change that. So this the questionnaire I came up with. So a leader feels with his heart. A leader talks the talk and walks the walk. A leader does reflective thinking. A leader has integrity and is trusted by his followers. A leader stays calm during chaos or a crisis. A leader leads with vision and objectives. A leader promotes new and effective business strategies and operations. A leader hires and retains the best talent. A leader works with local talent and experts. A leader selects a successor who can benefit all the stakeholders. If you can really do all those 10 items, you are a effective leaders. You are a effective Zen leaders. Zen leaders always thinking about others. If you have to sacrifice yourself, you will. That's a servant leadership. So this is the questionnaire, and your answer to each question can be no, closer to no, neutral, closer to yes, and yes. That's a little bit of introduction here. Remember, if your Zen quotient is high, you can adopt Zen leadership. Otherwise, don't. So in here, Dr. Wu introduced the 3 Qs, talking about your IQ, your EQ, and SQ, spiritual quotient, or Zen, simple like Zen quotient. If you are talking about Zen, talking about 6th generation master, that's most important. So talking about Zen Buddhism, talking about the Buddha's stuff here, talking about how he came up with that. So first of all, he have each slide translated to English, and then second, the quote to the third 2 slide, or talking about how he came up with the questionnaire. Remember, the Zen idea used to be from India, was written in Indian, and then came to China, written in Chinese. Right now, I translate it into English. Language is no barrier. I mean, we are talking about wisdom. We're not really talking about knowledge here. This is the poem written by Dr. Wu, talking about sword fighting stuff here. And I think I can just list there as for your reference. Yeah, it's talking about, basically is talking about Zen Buddhism. I'll skip. It's going to take a lot of time to talk about this, and eventually not everybody can get it. Okay, we go to 10 chapters, lecturing, turned out to be a book. The first chapter is Feel with Your Heart. And that was a story. The 5th generation master want to pass to the 6th generation, and he asked everybody to write a similar to poem, Zen type of writing, and a student just write down like, a body is like a Bodhi tree, and a mind is like a mirror stand. Clean them frequently so there will be no dust. Oh, that's one way. That's one way. Another student wrote down that a Buddha has no tree, and a mirror is not a stand. Since they do not exist, how can they gather dust? The upper one was turned out to be a master in the north. The down one, the lower one, is turned out to be a master in the south. So the north one is gradually, I mean, your heart got like a mirror, got lots of dust. Remove those dust gradually. Eventually, you get Zen. And the south one here is, there's no mirror, there's no heart, no nothing. So nothing to be cleaned up. It's different level. The south one, we believe, is higher level. It's more difficult level here. It's if you allow me to use the basketball players as example, some basketball players, they're getting better and better, right? They coach them, we train them, they're getting better and better. Some just like born to be a basketball player. They don't really need to learn from any coach. I mean, they teach themselves, they were good. Since day one, they were good. They keep that way. So they are good, they keep that way. It's not like they can get in better and better. They were good. They can do that. You see another one like piano is different. Piano, yeah, everybody learn from a teacher. So the North Star is like a piano lesson. You take lessons from teachers gradually. You can play piano. But as a guitar, I also play guitar. Guitar playing is most of the guitar players, they don't learn from teacher. They just play themselves, then they learn. So the guitar you can learn by yourself. Then piano you learn from a teacher. Pretty much, it's a little bit similar to that. It's different based on what you're doing. Maybe the first example is a better one. You're born to be a poet. You can write it. You learn how to write a poem from a teacher. Yeah, probably second best. Yeah, if you're real cool, you don't need to learn. You can teach yourself. Oh, you just go there and write and keep writing here. So whenever people say that, hey, Woody, you are improved, which means comparing to previously, I was not that good, huh? No, I don't get improved. I just keep moving to different lecturing, different topic here. I'm not getting better. I am good. I'm good, and I'm going to keep that way. So here I give you two examples. The first examples is like during the office hour, there was a VP and asked the student to stretch, to do some 10 minutes stretch, because sitting there all day, 8 hours without any exercise is not good for your body. So that's showing differently. That's in Taiwan. And another one here is from Daniel Goleman. Says he wrote a book about EQ, emotional intelligence book. He once said that you want to consider your employees. Yeah, this is pretty much talking about feel with your heart, work-life balance. A company should try to keep work-life balance of their employees. Your thought, please. Yeah, so this is Zen stuff here. I show my thought, you come up with your thought. The second one here is talking about talk the talk, walk the walk. A leader, effective leader, have to have good verbal and written skills. But after that, you have to keep your promise. A leader may not need to get people like you, but you need to get people trust you. Like you and trust you, they are different. If you don't get trust, you are in big trouble. If people don't like you, it's minor. It's really minor. People don't trust you going to deliver what you promised. Whoa, that's a big problem for leaders. No trust, no leadership. Quoted by Dr. Woody Woo. And here we have from Southwest Airline. They signed a contract with City of Austin, cost the company a lot. Then they so decided, we want to keep it. Well, they have a chance to get rid of it, but they want to keep it. We're going to lose money because of this, but we keep our reputation. So later on, people are going to trust us. We are a company who keep its promise. That's for the long term. Thinking about short-term profit, lose, and long-term profit gain. Image is very important to an organization. The second generation talking about a automotive parts company. They are providing the good and they are showing respect here. So the company is very honesty. If something is bad, the parts is not good, they tell them. They don't lie, so the company turned out to be generating long-term profit. Thinking about talk the talk, walk the walk, so people can trust you. In this case, you can generate long-term profit and build up a good image of your company. The third one here is like reflective thinking. It's from the Buddhism here. The original wording here is you have a Buddha mind inside of you and you cannot find it anywhere else. generating from that, you're going to do a reflective thinking about yourself. Don't try to point fingers to others. I mean, it won't help you. 2 examples, Cisco. Cisco, they downsized 15% of their employee, and then the director volunteered to cut the salary to $1 to save a few jobs here. Yeah, I'm going to sacrifice myself a little bit, just a servant leadership, so we don't have to cut so many people. Company are losing money, so as a director, I'm willing to cut down my pay. So this is like, don't ask for others, ask for yourself. And the second one is Bill Gates example. So meaning when at that time they sold some PC and servers, then later on, like Internet Explorer was a big success. Meaning instead of selling the PC, profit margin is not a high. Try to save some servers, internet world. So with that kind of change. So if you don't make a lot of money, thinking about, do some reflective thinking. Maybe I need to change my product or service. Number 4, integrity and trust. The original form here is selfness. Meditating and Buddha's wisdom are 2 in 1. The former is the source and the latter is the application. So that's talking about you want to do meditation, then after that you want to do some action. They are the same one. They are the same one. Keep a calm mind. Do what you are supposed to do. Then idea is to serve others. Don't think about you yourself that much. Think about others. How can you benefit others instead of how others can benefit me, myself? That's not them. That's not them. Examples we learn. Peter Drucker, and he was talking about effective leadership is to earn trust. Here again, the trust is very important to him. And talking about, again, it's a very old wisdom. So he was talking about wisdom, not talking about knowledge. Knowledge, wisdom. You need to have wisdom to lead a company. You need to have knowledge to like do something, right? But leadership is a wisdom more than some knowledge, right? To build a house, you need some knowledge how to build a house. But of course, you also need the wisdom to build a house like art, like artists, like a Dali in Spain building some house. That's wisdom. That's not knowledge. So knowledge and wisdom, that's the way. Another one is from the Human Resource Department, talking about ethical training program. It's needed. It's needed. It's to people to reduce. It's if not eliminate to some unethical dealing in business world. So like I need to give you money in order to make this deal. How much I need to give to you? Are you going to ask me that kind of money again and again? It wastes a lot of time. There's no trust. Then it's difficult to do business. It's very, it's going to slow down the process, and you don't feel good. So we're going to do an ethical one to make it like a win-win-win situation for everyone. Number 5, chapter number 5, from again, this is from 6th generation masters lecturing in a temple. This one translate that was lecturing in Chinese, written in Chinese. I translated into English like, you will not be disturbed by outside distractions if you are in selfness meditation. Well, how you get disturbed, distracted? Because you are thinking about me. If you don't think that much about me, thinking about others, thinking about the goal, then you're not going to get distracted. So typically we get mad because people talk something about me. Well, if you don't thinking about, don't get it personal, right? People are not talking about something about me. Something that they're talking about your coding. That's me. No, that's your coding. Your coding is not work. We have to change your coding. Are you saying that I am incompetent? No, we didn't say you are incompetent. We just said that this piece of your coding is not working. So can we, this one is trying, this is the Zen stuff here, handle chaos or a crisis here. Talking about CEO, that CEO at GE at one time talking about what is the best leaders that's in competitive environment. It have a sixth sense. Yeah, this is like intuition stuff. We are talking about good leaders, good CEOs. In addition to knowledge, in addition to wisdom, the CEO also build up some intuition. I got a hunch. I feel like then we need to consider about that. I feel like it may happen. I mean, do you have that intuition to expect something like COVID-19 will come? I don't know about you. If you were, then you are really, really good. You have a good intuition. But I can only learn from the past. In the future, it will not surprise me. It will not surprise anyone. If we have a similar situation, we're going to prepare. We're going to prepare. And the next one here talk about a company, a Tylenol, 1982. Whoa, I was in school. Tylenol got poisoned. A medicine got poisoned. The company so decided we're going to pull back all the Tylenol. At that time, lots of people have Tylenol. You get headache or anything, you get yourself a Tylenol. Pretty much like aspirin. Then pull down, lost a lot of money later on, but they are willing. So they seal the bottle, make it more safe, then reintroduce to the market. That's the right thing to do, right? Is that a chaos? It's really a chaos. People die from being the bottle of Tylenol being poisoned. So how can you handle the chaos? You have to handle it quick, right? Make the right decision and make it quick to pull back all the medicines, destroy them, because you cannot test it to make sure they are safe. So we just destroy them, and so that's leaders. You make in this kind of risk management, you need to make quick and correct decisions, and that typically means you're going to lose lots of money. Chapter number 6 of the book, talking about what's in the Buddha. An order or a monk are enlightenment, justice, and purify respectively. You have pure heart, you are justice, you are very
fair to everyone. From a leadership perspective, you really want to be fair to everyone, transparent, the purity. Otherwise, you're not going to gain trust. That's two examples. One is from Japanese Miyamoto Musashi, a sword fighting guys, and he also wrote a book called The Book of Five Rings. That's a very, very famous book. I have another presentation talking about how the books of five rings been used to set up business strategy. That was a sword fighting strategy he was talking about. Perception is strong and sight weak. In strategy, it is important to see distant things as if they were close and to take a distance view of close things. This means you need to be able to see what you cannot see. What does it mean? You need to be able to see with your mind for what you cannot see from your eyes. That means that's a real leader. It's not that easy for people to do that, but you have to be that way. To feel with your heart, don't only rely on what you see. You see may not be what you see, what you think about. I mean, that's changeable. And your perception may not be correct. You still need to feel. Another one here is a cooperative system theory, talking about goals are imposed from the top down, while their attainment depends on willing compliance from the bottom up. Yes. Typically, we'll say that the leaders come up with objectives, but the supporters need to make it happen to achieve those objectives. So you need to have vision and objectives. They're different. Leaders have to be visionary and followers have to be able to achieve the objectives. Number 7, the quote here says, your mind keeps everything you know. A Buddha mind keeps nothing. Whoa. Business strategy and operation. This is, again here, if this is difficult for you to understand, what do you mean by your mind keep everything you know? A Buddha mind keep nothing. Think about your past success experience may hurt you. You're going to be based on your past successful experience to plan on the future. The environmental change. Your past successful examples are no good. You are not going to win in the future. So we are willing to discard our past successful experience. You are going to try to see if what you are doing is matching to the future, not to the past. Okay. Lessons learned from this quote. A leader promotes new and effective business strategy and operations. New, when you need to have a new strategy. When the environment change, your old strategy is not matching to the changed environment, then you need to have a new. It's not like because a new CEO, they have something new. Unfortunately, that's mostly the case, right? It's not that good. Nothing changed. And why you change? So there are American airline example. They have they're going to keep all the maintenance in Tulsa instead of like going to China and somewhere else. The airplane maintenance in Tulsa, in this case, save lots of money, and the quality can also be easily controlled. And a Japanese company, they have a Kaizen. That's a Chinese word, Kaizen. Kaizen means gradual improvement, especially in this situation, gradually a small improvement. We're trying to accumulate those small improvement and make it a big improvement. So this is a business strategy. So it's differently, right? So once the environment change, you have to have a corresponding new strategy, and you need to keep improvement, not like major change. Sometimes we like short term. Our stock market turned out to be rocky high, a new CEO in 1 year. It just won't happen. Sometimes it happens, but there are some drawbacks later on showing they sacrifice one area and they make the stock market high. But later on, you see many people leave the company or something like that. You want to see the long term, not only short term. So this is what it's talking about. Number 8, you want to hire and retain the best talent. People is very important. The quote was from, he was born with wisdom, and has reached the highest level. I could not compete with him. So this was talking about, remember, we are North and South master, then master. So the North, then master was gradually, you get it then. And the South masters is like, you may born with it. Suddenly, you understand then. So the North master was humble, saying that, hey, I'm no competitive to the South master. He born with it. I learned from it, right? Again, if you may allow me to use maybe a football player. Some football player like born to play the football. You only tell them the rules here. They can play. They don't need coach. They don't need nothing. They just born like they know how to play the basketball games or the football games here. And lots of people, they're strong. Hey, you're strong, huh? I'm going to train you how to play. Huh? So it's different. It's totally different. The lessons learned from this quote is a leader hires and retains the best talent. Right? Some people born to be a salesperson. How about that? He can sell whatever you want him or her to sell. He's born that way. He loved his job. He's so cool. He can do everything. So we want them. We need to recruit those people. We're always talking about training. Human resource, hire some people, we train them. Less training. We need to give them a lot of training. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. You train with the knowledge of your product and service. That's good. You train them how to sell. How to sell is a lot contribute to personality, right? Some people like to sell stuff. Some people hate to or not good at selling some stuff. And you're going to train them, trying to change them. Why don't you, in first place, hire someone who love and who can sell? You just train them with the knowledge of the product and service. So that's the idea in here. The first one from James Collins, good to great, is using a different approach. It's not like the company have a product or service, then we're going to hire someone to do it. No, we hire the good people. Then ask those people, hey, what kind of product or service we should have? So that's a reverse, different type of thinking. And the second one, talking about example from a CEO, talking about good leader. They are going to use a team concept, or people who make him look like dumb. Leader is dumb here. All the people, different areas, different expertise people. They are going to form a team. Then the leader going to ask the team all the way, because the team is better. This is a good idea here. We have a leader, always hire someone is not as smart as he or her, himself or herself, going to ask, otherwise looks like I'm not that good. I have many leaders who always want to show they are better than their followers, so it's turned out to be a mess. Here. It's maybe you have good leadership that makes you a leader. Knowledge-wise, product, service-wise, you need to show respect to your followers. Don't keep correcting them and showing you are better than your subordinate. A leader should not be that way. A leader, if they have subordinate better than the leader, that's the way. And you can you lead someone is better than you? Or you have to lead someone is not as good as you? That's a question we need to think. Chapter number 9 of the book of the seventh generation master. Translate into English, you should ask the Zen master in the South. He has secretly inherited from the fifth master the robe and the master's wisdom. So this again is the North Zen master talk to his students who attending the lecture of the South master. So he will say, hey, you need to learn the wisdom from the South master. Yes, Zen is about wisdom. It's not about knowledge. Knowledge is easy. I write down step 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that, up to 100. You can follow that. You can get the knowledge. Practice. Wisdom is difficult. Some people born with wisdom. Some people can be trained to gain wisdom. Some people cannot. Even with training, cannot. Lessons learned from this quote. A leader works with local talent and experts. That's true. If you are a effective leader, you need to be able to work with other people. Talking about basketball players here, you are good. Right? You are Michael Jordan. You are good. Hey, a team have 5 players. You still need to coordinate with the other 4 players, right? It's not like one-man show. You're good. You need to be coordinating with other people. Otherwise, it won't work. So we have 2 examples. One example is about a company answer and about the branding. And the vision of the founder says that he would like to have a global partnership for PC with local management, hire local people to do the management, and local shareholders. I mean, they share the stocks, so they really care about the company. So local talent are those who know the market best. Yes. Don't try to compete with them. and are willing to contribute to their society. Yes, they feel like they are obligated to their society. So for a global company, you go to the local division, you need to use local people. If you cannot use wisely, it's no good. The second example here is, oh, that's in the Japanese company here. Or like FBI finding out, was tracked down. Oh, that was a hacker. The hacker says that I'm so good. I mean, you guys cannot catch me. Eventually, a Japanese guy, expert in just hacking stuff, catch him. So this just to tell you that you're good, but someone is better than you using local. And this guy from somewhere, some country, maybe from the US. We are asking people from different countries, from Japan, to catch him. So we don't really care where you come from. A hacker, we want to catch him. I mean, you can catch him. You're good. You're from Japan. You're from the U.S. We don't care. Use a local talent. If in the U.S. here we don't have people who can track down and catch this hacker, we are going to invite someone from like Japan who can do that. Chapter number 10, translated into English, is once you die, Zen master, who should take over your position? This is a direct call. As you can see, the master's leadership is pretty cool, huh? So the student don't afraid of asking, now you're dying. So after you die, who's going to take over your position? Okay. I think the answer from the master was like whoever who have the Zen wisdom can take over my position, because Zen here is passing down the Zen wisdom. Lessons learned from this quote. A leader selects a successor who can benefit all the stakeholders. Yes, that's very important. I have served a school for 19 years and under the supervising or the guidance of 3 presidents, 4 vice presidents, and 5 directors. I happen to be that way. The upper leaders keep changing. They retire or they change job with a job change or got fired. So I mean, the successor is important. Examples: Dr. Wu believe a leader should select a successor who can benefit all the stakeholders. It's not stockholder, stakeholders, including to like environmental protection group in the long term, not in the short term, with effective business strategy and ethical conduct. The correct one is not good enough, effective. And also Dr. Wu believes that a leader should select a successor with high IQ, with high EQ and high SQ, a spiritual quotient, or in this case we can say high Zen quotient. If we are talking about Zen leadership, you need to have if the company so decided to want to keep this Zen leadership, then they need to hire someone who have high Zen EQ. This is the point by Dr. Wu. Basically talking about passing down the Buddha's mind, the wisdom of Zen. This is a questionnaire, the 10 leadership questionnaire. We have already talked about it. This is reference only, talking about Buddha, a real person. And left hand side, when he was young, when he was doing his teaching, and right hand side, when he passed away. This talking about Dhammo. Dhammo was the 28th generation Zen master in India and came to China as the first generation Zen master in China. This talking about the 6th generation Zen master in China, and he's very important, especially we can learn leadership, Zen leadership from him. The most important one, I'll say that the Buddha is most important, Dhammo is most important, and the 6th generation Zen master is most important. I have completed my 2 topics Zen leadership presentation. The first one is the 7 schools of Zen Buddhism. The second one is the learn leadership from Zen Buddhism. Hopefully, this will help you to give you one more choice, which is Zen leadership among all the different type of leadership styles. Thank you.